Hi everyone. So today here we are to discuss a very unique concept and the question why organic chemistry is the study of carbon. You might be wondering there are so many elements in the periodic table, but we have almost whenever we talk about the organic chemistry, only carbon comes into our mind. Now it's because of the very simple reason that carbon has a very special properties. To talk of, the most important property of the carbon is its catenation property. Now, what's catenation? Catenation is the property of the carbon by which it's through the mode of the self-linking, it keeps on making bonds with various other carbon atoms and multiply to make millions of different compounds and molecules. Now, how come carbon can do that only? Why not other elements? Again, it's because carbon has the atomic number of 6. So when we look about the configuration of the carbon, we see it is 1s2, 2s2, and 2p2. In the excited state, one electron from the 2s2 subshell moves to the 2p2 subshell. So when it does that, our P subshell has 3 unpaired electron now, 2p3, and 1 unpaired electron in 2s. That's right. So in total, it makes 4 unpaired electrons in the electronic configuration of the carbon in the outermost principal shell. Now it's very difficult to lose these 4 electrons to any other atom because of the energy constraints. Similarly, it cannot gain also the 4 electrons. So the best way out for the carbon is to make the bonds through shear. Of course, we know that it's through the making covalent bonds. So let's take an example of it. How carbon does that? See this molecule? Let's assume this middle one is carbon, one element. Now this carbon has the 4 valencies. So it is bonded with the 4 different atoms, 1, 2, 3, and this 4. So it has 4 sp3 hybridized orbitals by which it can able to make 4 different bonds with 4 different other carbon atoms. Now in this way, other carbon atoms have further 4 valencies. So this keeps on multiplying, and you see in the organic chemistry very complicated molecules, which goes around in numbers in millions. We use these compounds in our day-to-day life, in the medicines, in the dyes, in the food industry, in each and every living organisms, you will find the compounds of the carbon substituents. So it's very interesting that carbon is the main element behind the millions of the compounds in organic chemistry. And not only it makes only sp3 kind, 4 different sharing valencies and making 4 different bonds. Carbon can make double bonds and triple bonds as well. For example, I'll give you one more example of carbon. You can see this bond. Clearly, we have 2 carbon atoms linked with double bonds and 4. So 1, 2, and 2 double bonds. 4 valencies are fulfilled and carbon can make double bonds clearly. In the similar fashion, I can show you how carbon can make triple bond. You see this? After making the triple bond with other carbon atom, 1 valency is left, which it can make with any other element. So because of this unique property of the carbon, carbon keeps on interlinking with various elements and we got many useful substances. So it's very essential to understand that when we study organic chemistry, we have to study the properties of the carbon, the various possibilities of its bond making things. The bonds between the carbon and various carbon and other elements are so strong that it is very difficult to break those bonds. And thereby we get a variety of compounds. Thank you.